Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what the story is behind one of those tiny points of light? Well, today we're going to tell one of those stories. It's an absolutely epic tale, the biography of a star, from its incredible birth to its violent death and the legacy it leaves behind.
So just to get a sense of scale here, take a look at this number. That's a 1 with 24 zeros after it. It's the estimated number of stars in our universe. It's a number so huge, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around, right? A septillion stars. But here's the thing. Every single one of those stars has a life cycle, a real story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So today, let's pick just one of them and follow its incredible journey. Let's write its cosmic biography. And every great story has to start somewhere. For a star, that story begins in one of the coldest, darkest, and biggest places in space, what we call a stellar nursery. Think of these as the universe's ultimate raw material factories. They're these gigantic clouds mostly made of hydrogen gas and dust, and they are just unimaginably massive. We're talking millions of times more massive than our own sun. They're just kind of hanging out, waiting for something to happen. And that something is gravity. It all starts so simply. Because these clouds are so cold, bits of gas and dust start to clump together. As a clump gets bigger, its gravity gets stronger, and it starts pulling in even more material. It just keeps growing and growing until it gets so heavy that it collapses in on itself. All that friction heats things up, and boom, a baby star, what we call a protostar, ignites. Okay, so our protostar is born. But to become a real, stable star, it needs to grow up. After millions of years of pulling in more and more mass, it finally enters its long adulthood, the part of its life where it'll spend most of its time. And this is the secret to what makes a star shine. Deep in the core, the pressure and heat are so intense that hydrogen atoms literally get squeezed together to create helium. That process, nuclear fusion, unleashes a huge amount of energy, and that energy pushes outward, creating a perfect balance against the inward crush of gravity. It's this beautiful, stable equilibrium that can last for billions of years. Now, here's where the story can go in two very different directions. A star's entire fate really comes down to its mass. You see, low-mass stars, they kind of sip their fuel. They can live for trillions of years before they just quietly fade away. But high-mass stars? Oh, they live fast and die young, going out in the most spectacular way you can possibly imagine. So, for our biography, you know we're going to follow the dramatic path. So, after just a few million years of burning incredibly bright, our massive star is already in deep trouble. It's burned through most of its main fuel, hydrogen, and the final, frantic, and really chaotic act of its life is about to begin. And just look at how quickly things start to fall apart. Fusing hydrogen kept it stable for millions of years. But once that's gone, it starts fusing helium into carbon, which only buys it another 100,000 years. Then, it burns through carbon in about 100 years. Neon lasts for a year. Oxygen for just 6 months. And finally, silicon. That fusion process buys the star about one single day. And this is it. This is the end of the line. After all that frantic burning, the star's core is now basically a giant ball of iron. And here's the fatal problem. Fusing iron doesn't release energy, it actually consumes it. The star has hit a complete dead end. The fusion engine that held it up for its entire life has just sputtered and died. With no energy pushing outwards anymore, there is absolutely nothing left to fight gravity's relentless pull. For millions of years, that delicate balance held. But now, the balance is broken. The fight is over. Gravity wins. In these final moments, our star is about to unleash one of the most powerful and, frankly, one of the most violent events in the entire universe. It's called a supernova. And it happens unbelievably fast. That iron core, which is about the size of our own planet, collapses in on itself in less than a single second. It gets so unbelievably dense that the laws of physics themselves basically push back hard, causing it to rebound. This rebound triggers an unimaginably powerful shockwave that just blasts outwards, tearing the rest of the star to absolute shreds in a truly titanic explosion. But, and this is the most incredible part of the story, out of all that mind-blowing destruction comes creation. A star's death isn't just an ending. It's a transformation that leaves behind something extreme and seeds the entire cosmos for the future. So what happened to that core that collapsed? Well, it survives as one of two of the most bizarre and extreme objects in the universe. It could become a neutron star, a sphere maybe the size of a city, but so dense that a single teaspoon of it would weigh billions of tons. Or if the star was truly massive to begin with, gravity just wins completely, and the core collapses forever into a black hole. But the story doesn't stop there. What about the rest of the star? All those outer layers of carbon and oxygen and all the other elements it created. They get blasted out into space. And this material enriches those huge molecular clouds, the very same kind of clouds where our star was born. And this is where the cosmic biography of a distant star suddenly becomes our story. This incredible cycle of death and rebirth isn't just some abstract thing happening out in deep space. It's the very reason that we are here right now.
Just think about it. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen that you're breathing this very second. Every single heavy element that makes our world and our bodies possible was forged in the fiery heart of a massive star that exploded billions of years ago. We are, quite literally, made of stardust.
And that just leaves you with this one last incredible thought. The universe is always recycling, always rebuilding. The death of one star provides the raw materials for the next generation. So as we look up at the stars tonight, you have to wonder, when they eventually die, what new worlds, and maybe, just maybe, what new life will be built from their cosmic dust?